Analyzing the game.
Game plan was great.
The players.
I would want him to be a runner like Mahomes.
The plays.
That is a massive, massive mistake.
And each
The more I
other.
think about it, the more I'm fine.
Zolak and Bertrand, the Sports Hub.
All right, let's go. Welcome in. It's Zolak and Bertrand. What's today?
I don't know.
Is it really only Tuesday?
18th.
Is it really?
19th.
Damn, this feels like a Thursday-ish. Maybe even a Friday. You ever get to Tuesday and you feel like you're done with the week already? I'm in that spot, so.
Well, it's the traffic and the heat.
I'm in that spot.
So I think we start with the feels like temperature.
Everybody stay cool out there today.
Keep your dogs.
Make sure you don't overwork your ACs and freeze up a coil. Don't overwork her.
I love when you start the show like Regis Philbin.
Don't
At the start
overwork
of
her.
Live.
What's that?
I love when you start the show like Regis Philbin.
Gelman?
Oh, it feels hot out there.
Gelman,
doesn't
it's
it?
hot out there,
Hot in the
Gelman.
city, huh?
Isn't it hot in the city? It's so hot and sticky. Gelman.
Me and Joy tried a new restaurant last night.
Enjoy.
Like Eddie Edelman.
What's in the papers today? Right?
He's like Eddie Edelman. Him and the wonderful Judy.
No.
Where did you come by from Cape Cod and what did you eat? Where did you eat this weekend? I want to know now.
All right, well, let's get into it. What do you say?
I think we should do the off-air show on air.
No, not today, pal.
we just have a
Not
discussion.
today.
Wow.
Not today. That's where the ratings are, though. If we ever get into a situation, a sticky situation, it's sticky out there today, everyone. Stay cool. If we get into a sticky situation where we don't have ratings, I've got the gimmick to get us right back into the lead. Okay, just so you know,
in the back pocket.
I've got that one, but let me just put that right in the back pocket.
I need a
there
guaranteed
for you.
contract, though.
Right in the back. I just got one, so we're good.
Oh, I know.
I'm
We'll-
good.
we'll
Let me
have
go.
one.
Wind me up. Let me go.
Yeah.
All right. Stephen A. Smith is pissed. He's got a guaranteed contract. He's got more guaranteed money than anybody in this business. He's coming after Jaylen Brown, man. He is not letting this one go.
This is what he lives for.
Like,
Seriously, like
I
Jaylen
mean-
Brown, you just gave him an opportunity just to. Jalen's calling it clickbait. Steven lives for these moments. Like, this is now. Now I got you. And he's going to go at him hard. Like, I don't want to hear the bad stuff coming out of Boston about Jaylen Brown because I love Jaylen Brown. You know that. And I think he's been really good for the Celtics. But here's what's going to happen. He's probably going to shoot his way out of town, and they're going to slander. You're going to hear all these stories, and Stephen A. is going to start getting them.
Maybe yesterday this was the most interesting story in the NBA prior to Victor Wembanyama doing what he did.
Yeah.
Okay. And looking like the very best basketball player on planet Earth. So I don't know if this is going to carry this week, but I do know that Stephen A. is not going to let this thing go away anytime soon. It might not be the story over the next few days, over the next few weeks as we get through the conference finals and the finals, but Stephen A. is definitely interested in this. We want to get some more from Stephen A. with his podcast talking about Jaylen Brown.
Stephen A., I don't deserve that from you, bro. You're wrong. But I'm not going to be disrespectful. I'm not going to do anything. What I'm going to do is remind you of what I said before. Despite your greatness throughout the years and being in 6 conference finals and 2 NBA finals and winning a championship and winning a finals MVP and a conference finals MVP and establishing yourself as one of the best two-way players in the entire NBA, if not the world right now. All the endorsements go to your teammate, Jason Tatum. Why? None of them are coming in your direction to the degree that you deserve. Why not? Shoot deals, endorsement deals, or whatever. You're talking about me. Yeah, journalism, whatever. Hell, I got a commercial on TV right now with CarShield. Why don't you have those? This is not to malign or insult or anything. It's to point out, bro, there's a host of things that people are saying in the world of corporate America and beyond. Why haven't they embraced you more?
So he says he's not going to disrespect Jaylen Brown, but then blatantly disrespects him in that he brings up what might be a very sore subject, which is you are Robin.
Yep. And that's what kills him.
That's what that is.
And it's resurfaced again. It's got new life. As much as people try to downplay it that these guys could coexist, I don't think it could happen. I think this year and what he tasted, he wants his own team. And I think he's sick of being Robin.
Now, is CarShield the same one that Marcelo Meyer is doing the commercial for?
You bum.
Is that the same
I don't know.
thing?
That's it, yeah.
It is, right?
Sure is.
Okay, that means anybody can get one of those
Well,
campaigns.
how about Shaq with the General?
Well, that's different. That's the General.
That's the General.
Everyone knows the General thanks to Shaq. But CarShield, they will literally give an endorsement deal to anybody. Marcelo Meyer has one. So
That you can just read the cue card.
yeah,
You don't really.
I don't know that would be the. I don't think that's the brag you think
Why,
it is.
yeah, why even
Stephen
go
A.
CarShield? Like, I make $30 million a year. Okay. I'd go with my contract.
Yeah. So anyway, he goes at him about a topic that I'm sure is a sensitive subject for Jaylen Brown. But what is Stephen A. really trying to hit at here? That Jaylen Brown's not a well-liked guy?
Yeah.
That Jaylen Brown will be second fiddle to Tatum forever? That Jaylen Brown had an opportunity, and this is the part that I really think he wants to hit at and should just sort of say, and that is, you had an opportunity to prove that you don't need Jason Tatum. And you proved it for much of the regular season, but in a Game 7, you had a chance to prove that you didn't need him. And you failed.
Yeah.
And you didn't do it.
And I think he calls it like he sees it. Like, Stephen A. he's not one of those guys that has an agenda against a certain guy and just beats it to death. Like, if you go back 3 or 4 months ago when Jaylen was in his groove, man, he was one of his biggest supporters. He's like, this dude he can be the MVP. He is carrying his team. And then it turned. Because he had real commentary off the stream. And like you said yesterday, it's the way everybody thinks. Don't say it's your best year. See, I understand why he said it's his best year, because he enjoyed being the one. But you can't say it's your best year when you get eliminated in the first round. And Stephen A. said that. Like, why is he pissed at him? Everybody says that. Why do you get pissed at the beat writers here when they say it? Because Stephen A., it's one of the biggest personalities.
Or Tracy McGrady, or the other guys on the desk, like Stephen A. mentioned.
Why hasn't JT gone on his stream, though, too? Like, everybody's waiting for that, and that doesn't happen. Like, it's easy to pop over and just jump on a stream for half an hour. Why hasn't he done that? Seriously. If they're tight. Because they're not tight. And I think Brown likes to put it out there that they're tight. I think he takes the high road on that, but personally, probably doesn't like playing.
I think it's crazy that Brown does not understand why people reacted the way they did to his comments about the favorite season. There's zero self-awareness there. None. He just doesn't even understand why anybody would see it any other way than the way he does as to why it was his favorite. And it's his favorite. And, like, fine. I mean, but you can't be upset when people react the way that they did to those particular comments. If the season with the biggest and most historic Celtics collapse ever is your favorite, well, then you're valuing the things that fans don't value.
Yeah.
Fans care more about the Celtics winning than they do about you. So maybe you care more about you than the Celtics winning, and I think that's what it is. And I think that's why people don't care for it. That's why I think fans react the way they do.
That's one of the worst things about that sport. Like with Kyrie, like this when you get to ego, you can't keep it in check. This is where it heads.
If you are nothing more than a Jaylen Brown fan, then congratulations. You agree with the comments, and it is your favorite year. If you're a Boston Celtics fan, explain to me why it is you would like those comments. Or why it is you think it's a good thing to feel that way. You can't do it. Because it's not about the guy. It's not about the individual. It's about a team winning at a high level. That is the history of the Boston Celtics.
He's a smart dude.
Despite all the amazing individuals that have played for this team and this franchise over the years, at the end of the day, it's about winning titles and hanging up the banners. Not all those retired numbers that they love to retire. It's about hanging up those championship banners. It's about teams winning. And so if your favorite year is the year that you just put up good numbers and we're in the MVP convo, and it's not that year that you put up one of those banners, well, I'm going to explain this again now for like the 15th time in 2 weeks. You just value the stuff that we don't. Simple as that.
You're individual.
Different value systems.
And why did Stephen A. Smith talk about the endorsements and the sponsorships? Because it gets under whose skin? Jaylen Brown's skin. Why? Because it's true. Because the Jason Tatum thing is true, and that has to bother him, which again ties back to the comments about being the favorite season.
Yeah.
Jason Tatum came back on March 6th. What if I told you on March 5th that Jaylen Brown would get 0 first-place votes, 1 second-place vote, and 2 third-place votes in MVP. Would you have believed that?
How did he finish 6th?
How it stood?
Right. Like at that time, it was either him or somebody else.
I don't need to hear anything more than that to know that he's a sidecar.
Yep. And that he's viewed as one by everyone in and around that league. The people covering that league feel that way. Maybe other players in the league feel that way.
Sidecar suck.
And now Stephen A. Smith is here to remind him of it and to twist the knife and to piss him off.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Because Jaylen Brown wanted to call him out instead of Tracy McGrady. Got it. The thing he was upset about, he redirected his anger at somebody else. So Stephen A. is going to keep this now, and it's going to be a feud. This is going to be a player, media member feud heading forward. Perk is stepping up in defense of the Stephen A. side of things because he's now sharing what's inside his phone and in his text messages with former Celtics, and I can only assume that some of them are Celtic greats.
He doesn't even know who they are. They're just coming out of the woodwork.
Scal.
Former Celtics left and right sharing their opinion of Jaylen Brown with Perk. We'll get to that coming up next.
Nothing happens in Boston sports
What's he doing?
you won't find out about here.
Blowing on the nozzle.
Zolak and Bertrand.
Thought it was clogged.
98.5, the Sports Hub.
Jay, can you read this text message real quick? I didn't even have this number saved.
Sure.
But read that text.
Former Celtic here. Keep speaking the facts. Pound emoji. Much respect.
Okay, cool. So he was texting me that because of what I just said. We had a conversation about Jaylen Brown. Then I get another text that said, hey, JB tripping. Another text from a former player that played with the Celtics. JB, lack of accountability, right? It's because, JB, guess what? It's a lot of people in the organization. It's a lot of former players, legends, that don't agree with you, bro. They don't agree with you. They don't like the way that this looked. And what you said and how you said it during that time, it didn't make it look good. Everybody already got speculations about him and Jason Tatum relationship. We're talking about a duo that could play together for years to come. And you leaving off of that series saying that was your favorite season wasn't something that needed to be said publicly. This instance, I can't rock with you, JB, and guess what? It's a lot of former players, former Celtic players, that's not rocking with you either, dog.
Kendrick Perkins, former Celtic, friends with all the former Celtics that he played with. You just start speculating. Pierce, Garnett. Just think of all the players that could be texting him that are saying, we're not riding with you, JB. We're out on this. The things you said about it being your favorite,
Yeah.
basically you've got it all wrong. And Kendrick Perkins can sort of speak to this better than Stephen A. Smith can, that's for sure.
Yeah, he's got his crew. The former guys he played with. Like you stay in touch with these guys. They know how to win. And you talk about Paul Pierce, like he's Boston. And I think, just the way people view Pierce, I know people love Tatum, but the personalities aren't the same. And I think it pisses Jaylen Brown off. And he sees it, he wants to be that guy, and he knows he's not going to be that guy here.
Leon Poe doesn't ride with this.
Nope. Rondo.
Wait till you hear what Gabe Pruitt thinks of you. That's the fun part of this.
Right? Hopefully it's not Cassell. I hope.
Right? That's a former teammate of Perks.
Oh, Scal does the games. He talks to him. Scal's not going to say it on air. I think a certain way, but there's stuff I wouldn't say on air about a player.
Even Tony Allen is like, stop being so selfish.
Yeah.
Right. Think of all these guys.
Yep.
So I think it's interesting that it's a former player who is disgusted by it and doesn't appreciate the commentary and is just out. He's out on this. And I think I don't think this is good for his sort of standing within the organization and standing in Boston. I don't think it's good for him. If he's very concerned about the personal brand. I think he's doing damage to the own personal brand
Well,
with some of this.
Takes the extension off the table if you're ever going to get there monetarily. And if that's what he's really shooting for, show me. I want to be here, but it's not my decision. Like, you don't want to pay for that now. I wouldn't. That's a big commitment. I love the player.
Look, and it's a guy that's played at his best and sort of been at his best when he has that chip on the shoulder, and I think that championship run certainly qualifies, right? A guy that probably thought that he deserved more of the spotlight than he did when they made that run, for sure, and that's great, and that led to team success. The slight with Team USA, for sure. Again, you look at it and you go, how is he not on Team USA? Which I get, even though it was Derek White that winds up going too, which at the time we kind of looked at and said, man, that's also... Like, I understand why you're upset. It's also one of your teammates that got picked, so it's kind of tough to make that. But this is a different level because you're looking for that recognition coming off of a super embarrassing playoff performance that you just lost to the Sixers 3-1. Like, you let them come back. Like, that's not the time to die on that hill in terms of the disrespect and pumping yourself up. It's just not.
But that's what he wants to do.
It's almost like
doubling, tripling down.
It's a little bit like the Brady, I don't have a dog in the fight. You do, but you double down on it. That's because it's the way you feel.
Let's go to Paul. He's in Quincy. Hi, Paul.
Hey, thanks for taking the call.
Hey.
Again, like everybody else, they're bashing Jaylen Brown. Again, you guys said it. You guys nailed it when you said, it's all him and not for the team. And you guys are correct. And, in my opinion, he's a good player, but it's all for him. And so in my opinion, he's a cancer on the team because he's a ball hog. He doesn't like to share the limelight. And he wants the Celtic to be his team, but but everybody knows it's Tatum's team. And like you said, he hates it. And he hates it to the point that he's really hurting the whole team right now.
Well, I mean, I don't think he's a problem. I don't think his teammates dislike him. And I don't think that's true either.
He spreads the ball. I don't think he's a ball hog. Like, he plays his ass off. He plays hard. I just think it's 8-9 years. You got shelf life. It's run its course.
I don't have any problems with the player. I just have problems with the commentary. Like, I don't think that line of thinking is one that I'd ever agree with.
Yep.
And so if he had said it once and it went away, then it went away. I don't think we're talking about it today. But now he just wants to be emphatic about it, and he's picking a fight over it. And that's why it's being brought up again.
Like, it's poor timing, too, because he played so well. Remember he was in the parade, St. Patrick's Day parade, right? Mm-hmm. And just like things were going so well for him. And that's back when Stephen A was pumping his tires. And at the end, like, how do you not call a first-round exit a bad thing that happened to this team? Like, that's a big collapse. People had him as the favorite in the East, or at least get to the Eastern Conference Finals. They got popped.
Definitely. With Tatum, everyone thought that they were going to come out of the East. Yeah, I'm with you. And to say that he's a cancer, I think, is wildly disrespectful because the guy let him do a 2 seed in the regular season. Like, he was the leader of the team that overachieved throughout the regular season. So that's not true.
Yeah. Ask Richard if he's a cancer. Come on.
You also can't double down on that regular season when you get popped like that and say it's your favorite one when you have an embarrassing exit in the postseason. I don't think you can say it. I just think it's what you said. It's a guy that feels like he's grown out of the role that he's had now for however many years it's been. And he's ready.
He's trying to give himself credit, and it's kind of like taking a shot at Tatum, saying that.
Mike in Danvers has Jaylen Brown's back. Hi, Mike.
I do, gentlemen. I do. Listen, I got a couple things to say here. Now, number one, I find it very rich that the number one show in Boston, who thrives on people being openly opinionated, say they have a problem with Jaylen Brown's commentary. That I find very rich. That's
hold on.
If you listen to the show,
I'm going to stop you right there, Mike. I love that Jaylen Brown is sharing his opinion, but like with every opinion, you are allowed to have the opposing opinion and say, I think your opinion sucks the way you just did to us. It's well within your rights, and that's well within everybody's rights to say, I've heard him out, and I don't respect his viewpoint and his opinion. That's how it goes.
Okay.
That's a conversation.
Mike, for years I would pick. You know what I would do? I'd pick Brown over him.
How is that hypocritical or rich? I'm not upset for him for speaking. I just don't like his opinion. I don't value it. I don't respect it.
So if we take that viewpoint, what's wrong with Jaylen Brown not liking Stephen A's viewpoint?
What's wrong? The argument's not about not liking Stephen A. It's about he's battling on this point, and he's still going hard on this point that I think stinks. That's what it is.
Okay. Let me just say one other thing, because I know you guys don't like keep people on too long, but only in Boston can you carry your team for the entire season, be in top 5 in the MVP voting, and be criticized.
No, he was 6th. He wasn't top 5. He was number 6. He was number 6. He wasn't top 5.
6. Did he carry the team for the entire season?
Absolutely.
Okay. Would they have made the playoffs without Jaylen Brown on the team this year?
Definitely not.
Okay. So only in Boston can you get criticized like this guy's being criticized when you carry a team for the entire season. Only in Boston can that happen. And I'm sure if you were to ask Brad Stevens what everyone is saying about Jaylen Brown, you know what Brad Stevens would tell you? He would tell you they're all crazy. And from a basketball point of view, Brad Stevens knows the value of Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, it's a first-round exit against Philadelphia. It's a historic collapse in the first round.
And Steven said it. We weren't good enough. It was an alarming press conference where we're not close right now.
I think that series proved that he's not capable of carrying a team in the playoffs. He's capable of carrying a team and playing really hard in the regular season against Eastern Conference opponents. Because if you want to talk about Brad Stevens' opinion, which you brought into the conversation, Mike, I would tell you should have listened up to what he said in that press conference when he said we're not good enough and we were only 3-11 against the Western Conference, which was a shot at the regular season that Jaylen Brown had just led that team in. So I would be...
That was a reality check.
Yeah, I would slow down a little bit. I'd be cautious to warn that Brad Stevens is going to be a strong defender of Jaylen Brown. Brad Stevens might trade him away this offseason. Does that mean he doesn't know the value? Or doesn't understand basketball?
No.
No one's arguing about Jaylen Brown's performance, though. Like, that is not the big topic. The topic is, how could you possibly feel that collapse at the end is worthy of being your favorite season ever? That is the issue here.
See, I think the problem with, like, fans remember you for your last game, like your last memories of the season. Like, we ripped the Patriots for losing the Super Bowl, not showing up offensively. But you kind of forget how damn good Drake May was all year. But then you rip him for the Super Bowl. This is what we do in Boston.
I always want the player to voice the opinion.
The player loved it. He loved this year. And I don't have a problem with him saying it, but, like, internalize it.
But I'm going to tell you, when you say it like 3 times, and now you're saying doubling down and saying F you to anybody who disagrees with you and having no, like, awareness of how this might play and how those particular comments might play. I think that's foolish.
Stephen A,
but
Stephen B,
I'm
Stephen
thrilled.
C.
I'm thrilled that he did it. Thrilled. 31 minutes into this conversation today.
It's great content.
And we've already done this topic several times. So thrilled. Love it. Keep it coming. Keep the battle up. We'll keep an eye on it and keep monitoring it for any new developments or any new FUs that are thrown. Those shots across the bow. Meanwhile, there was basketball last night in the NBA. I mentioned it in passing, and that was Victor Wembanyama and an OT thriller to open up those Western Conference finals. Does that game and does this series scare the hell out of you in terms of how far away the Celtics are from competing in the NBA for a title? That's number one. Number two, if they're going to get back into competing at that level, could they use LeBron to do it, and are they after LeBron? We've also mentioned that in recent days. Let's touch on both of those coming up right after this.
We're back with more Zolak and Bertrand on the Sports Hub.
LeBron James going to play basketball again, and it's not going to be for the Lakers. Is that is that how we're all feeling right now, or how do you feel? How do you lean right now, Sean?
I wouldn't say that that's something that's been determined. Honestly, I think LeBron, more than past years, probably needs even more time with his family, with his inner circle. I do know a lot of teams are calling him and his camp. I spoke to Rich Paul the other day at the Chicago Draft Combine last week, and he told me, like, every contender in the NBA is essentially, since the season ended, placed a call. So that line is going to continue to be open. But listen, LeBron, all indications throughout the season have been that he's going to play another year. We'll see if that remains to be true.
Well. I consider the Celtics in the class of contenders in the NBA. And Shams is saying every team is called LeBron James. Every contender is called LeBron James making a run at him. Does that include Brad Stevens? and the Boston Celtics?
I say no. Because of the age, because if you watch, the way these playoffs are shaken down and how athletic and how fast the game is, and I'm not saying LeBron can't play at that level, but you're going to bring him in, it's going to be load management. It's another year older. His feet, the grind. Guy's already won multiple times. You need somebody with an edge to come in. I don't think he has that edge. I think he's the show. And I don't think that's what your team needs. I'm sure Tatum would love it. Right? I mean, people would love it here. Love LeBron now.
So we've talked about LeBron as a possibility if the Celtics were to swap Brown for Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
What if you bring in LeBron with Tatum and Brown still here? How does that change the dynamic?
Who takes last shot?
How does that fit? Because I think there would be issues with fitting all of these players.
Both guys would defer to him.
I know, and it doesn't solve your issue of needing a big.
Doesn't get your team better.
So it doesn't work neatly, but I don't think that is something we considered a week ago when we discussed this possibility, when I really was pounding this table saying, they got to get LeBron. They got to do it.
It's like a Mike Trout thing. You're going to go get him because he's the most popular guy.
Yes.
And it really doesn't fix your basketball problem.
Okay, but it also needs to be about the fact that you might be able to get him on an exception, or you might be able to get him cheap because he's pissed off at the Lakers.
Right. What kind of role would he accept here would be my question. You could load manage the hell out of it in the regular season. Can it be a super sixth man for you? I just find it very hard to believe he would accept anything like that.
He would retire first. The dude's ego's too big. And people here hated the guy for years, and now all of a sudden you'd have to love him. That'd be fun. I mean, we'd love it. Be great for us.
See the average age of the Spurs starting five is 22 years old.
Yeah, that's going to be a problem for a long time, that Spurs team.
Yeah. I remember when Wembanyama, is that right? Yeah.
Wembanyama.
When he was a kid.
Just call him Wemby.
He's overseas. They did specials on him, his feet. People were so worried about his feet because he's so big and they're so thin that they had to manage his feet the way they taped him in that. We don't know what kind of pro he's going to be, the wear and tear. And I just can't believe how good he is.
I mean,
I knew he was, he's big and he's smooth, but he's freaking good.
That's the one thing you can point to with the Spurs and be maybe, is that he can't stay healthy. Because other than that, I mean, he's 14 feet tall, and they have Castle and they have Harper, who are two awesome young guards. If he does stay healthy, that team is scary.
Watch him be like Porzingis, where you're managing injuries your entire career almost.
He is in that, if you look at it, though, he's one of the 30 tallest guys in the history of the NBA. And if you go down that list, all those guys do not last. They don't last. So that would be the one thing I point to, in that just his body is not going to hold up. And I guess maybe that's what you're banking on if you're the rest of the league. Because if it does, I don't know what the answer is.
What?
No, it's just that's it. That's what we're going to hang on to. Well, he's big. He's very tall. Were any of them of his weight?
And move the way that he does?
Right,
I don't think so.
Because you think of some of those guys that had that height, they also were big.
Yeah.
Right? Really big-bodied guy. He is not. He's just freakishly tall and long. And that's different than being a big guy who has a knee injury because, you're starting to break down.
Or the feet or whatever.
Or the feet or the ankle or any of those things. It's a little different because of all those really tall guys. I'm sure there are some, but he stands out in this generation as being super athletic for that height.
How tall is Durant? Is he 6'9", 6'8"?
6'10", 6'11", I think it is.
Jesus Christmas.
He's huge.
He was thin too. Remember when he first started? But Wembanyama looks like a guy you could just check into the freaking fourth row. You could just
Wembanyama. Chris in Hartford. Hi, Chris.
Well,
I know this is a very sensitive topic for you, Zoe, when it comes to Jaylen Brown.
Oh, God.
Okay? I understand well, and back to you, sir. I hope you're doing great.
I'm doing great.
But there's a reason why he was 6th in the MVP voting. In my calls, and I know you guys get a lot of calls, so I know you're not going to remember Chris from Hartford's call every single time. You probably do, though, because I run around in your head, Zolak. He did not get double-teamed all year long and averaged 30 points. 10 games, he came out and looked like garbage in the bench. The bench for the Boston Celtics got them a couple games over 500 in the reality because I watched all of the games. Now, when it comes to his comments, I've called him an idiot savant. In team basketball, he does not look more than any other time right now than an idiot savant. Extremely selfish. His off-ball defense, this is a team sport. Go watch the playoffs. Go watch the regular season. He doesn't value team basketball. And probably it's not his fault. But I'll tell you one thing. Stephen A. Smith is not the guy to mess with. There's only one guy you should mess with ahead of Stephen A. Smith, and it's Chris from Hartford. Have a great day, fellas.
All right, Chris. See you later.
He does know basketball.
Jake in Boston on last night with Wemby. Jake.
All right, couple things. What's up, boys? I don't know how you could watch last night's game and realize how far behind the Celtics are and how badly you need to blow the whole thing up. The effort, the intensity, the strategy, the talent, including at the top. SGA doesn't pull himself out of a Game 7 like Tatum did. You need to start all over, and I mean all over.
You want to get rid of both, Brown and Tatum?
And the coach.
Nobody's taking that seriously. Come on. Give us a serious proposal or a serious fix. That will never happen. And you know it, Jake. That'll never happen.
The new owner wouldn't let that happen.
No, it won't happen.
You need some sort of a draw.
Let's transition to another topic that I know Jake would love, and that is Belichick making the rounds.
Tell you what, man.
What?
Said some interesting things over the last couple of days.
Oh, he's had a lot to say. He was on Pardon My Take. He was on Hannity's podcast for a sit-down with him. Got a lot to get to with Bill Belichick. We'll do it starting next.
If you need your Boston sports fix, we're here.
You see it from the rear angle?
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Zolak Bertrand, the Sports Hub.
If you spend time around Tom, you understand how totally committed he is and how he just day by day takes incredibly small steps that eventually, but never backwards, that eventually lead to a very high performance. And I mean, really, he was our fourth string quarterback. Like, you can't name another fourth string quarterback, I would say, in any level of football. That's how far down he was. I mean, you couldn't get any further on the bench than he was. He was a fourth string, never even played, never even dressed. And then I brought in Damon Heward because I didn't think he was good enough to be the backup. And he beat Heward out. And then Bledsoe got hurt. And then he didn't lose games. He didn't win many, but he didn't lose them. But I always say Tom wasn't great. Wasn't even really good. But he became great.
And then we played for the great Ron Dato. Like, oh, geez.
Sounds like he's on cough syrup.
Thanks for the resume. Thanks for the timeline. What are you reading from Wikipedia, Bill? I'm sorry. There are people fawning.
Michael Bishop was also there.
Fawning over these Bill interviews today. They are so incredibly boring. And maybe it's because we spent 25 years listening to Bill. We've heard the stories.
Yeah.
We've heard everything that Bill has to say, and none of it is news to us here in Boston. So I'm sort of bored to tears.
It could be interesting to the 20-year-old in Des Moines, Iowa.
Yes, great. I'm sure it is because they haven't heard all these stories and they don't know about all this background, and they're, rediscovering the Patriots' greatness under Belichick and Brady. Great. For the rest of us that lived through it, I'm good.
Like Ross,
I don't need the retrospective, and honestly, I still find him to be a disingenuous guy. I still don't believe he is genuine when he talks. I still don't believe you get full transparency or full honesty. You get everything that is polished and shrouded in secrecy still, and never just get the full, real, genuine answer because he evades answering questions. That's just who he is.
He said, like, he wasn't good. He was so far down the bench. He was buried. He didn't even dress. Like, then why'd you keep 4 quarterbacks? That doesn't happen. Roster spots are huge. Like, and I fought it for 10 years, man. But even with that third quarterback rule, whether you're inactive or not, like, you can only keep 2. And they kept 4.
Call me when Bill tells me why he benched Malcolm Butler. Call me when Bill tells us why he didn't pay Brady $25 million a year to keep him. Call me when Bill does that interview, okay?
Why'd you make Matt Patricia coach the offense?
And then I'll give it damn. Yeah. Tell me why you thought Joe Judge and Matt Patricia would work. Okay? Those are the things I'm interested in hearing about. And he's not going to give you answers on any of those. So until that point happens, I'm not going to be enamored with any interview that he does.
So that was with Sean Hannity, right?
He's done 2 interviews. That was the PMT
that was
one.
PMT.
Oh, that's PMT.
But yeah, both have dropped. Both interviews have started to come out. The PMT one's fully out. And listen, those guys do a good job, and they kept it light, and it was fun at times, and there were some laughs in there. But I'm sorry, I'm not into like laughing it up with Bill Belichick. It's been done here. We've done it. We lived it. It's over. That era is in the past.
They've done so many athletes over the years, though. Like, it's like that's the one they didn't get was Bill. So it was about time they had sat down with Bill. Hey, they've done everybody. Except
I'm interested in why he's doing the interviews right now.
Yeah, me too.
And why he feels the need to get out there and why she is clearly booking him on these interviews.
Need to keep the name out there. Need to keep it fresh.
Is it because he hasn't been in the news cycle?
Yes.
And no one's talking about him?
Nobody's talking about Carolina football.
That's great that the people in North Carolina care about you, but where else do they really care about Bill Belichick?
No, there's no juice behind that program right now in college football.
He has no juice. He has no audience. He's got nothing that he had.
Started to get some juice with the speeding tickets. Like, that was good for them. I mean, I don't mean it's a good thing what happened, but it's like to you when you're making the news for issues. Like, you got a pretty good team.
Yeah, but there were two stories that broke about UNC over the last few weeks. One was the speeding tickets and how they're just,
and the other one was not good.
And the other one is the quarterback saying that it was not fun to play at UNC, and I want to know part of it moving forward. Both of those are like negative stories. There's no like positive juice in the 33rd NFL team and all that stuff.
So maybe he's trying to create that with nice, friendly interviews.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Maybe that's what it is.
I don't buy it.
No, I don't know who is. I don't know who's going to lap that up.
Trying to stay hip.
It's good.
Trying to stay young and hip.
Like, say one like critical thing about Brady. Then I'll believe you.
He said he wasn't good.
As a 22-year-old.
I know.
Yeah. Like I said, why don't you just go ahead and tell everyone why you wouldn't pay Brady $25 million a year then?
Well, the breakup is what makes that feel disingenuous, to your point. Because you're talking about all this. You proactively moved on from Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about here?
Yeah, you didn't think he was any good anymore, and then he won another Super Bowl without you.
Yeah.
And you
had no plan.
And your career went in the dumps.
Signed Cam Newton
because you had no plan, and you were completely incapable of building a program and putting it back on the tracks.
He was the most proven player you've ever coached in 20 years, and 1 year, $13 million. We're going to do 2 for 50.
And your best bet was getting Josh McDaniels in here to squeeze all the toothpaste out of the tube with Mac Jones. And he did, and did an incredible job doing it.
It's a great year for him.
Great job, Josh McDaniels. And then you got smashed in the playoffs, and it was like, oh, well, I mean, this is your competitive football team, but that team's not going anywhere.
Then you stop talking to your quarterback.
Well, you stopped talking to your quarterback, and the kid absolutely crumbled, which, again, I would say, wow, Tom Brady lasted here for forever.
He could take it.
Because he could take it, and the kid that we handpicked to succeed him absolutely crumbled within 24 months of being here.
Add that
to
the 3 questions I've already said I'm interested in. Why'd you stop talking to Mac Jones? We put that one on there's 4.
Why? Because you called Saban, right?
Do you
Wasn't that a big part of it?
Call me when they ask these questions and they get real answers on them, and I'll be in.
Remember the home game when he was sulking on the bench after the game, and Belichick walked over, grabbed his wrist, and walked him into the locker room?
But that was when they were on good terms.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
That was early.
He was trying to mold him and groom him, and it just wasn't going to happen. And then he pulled the rug out from under him with the
Bears Monday night game?
No, away from McDaniels. But it's weird. They made a lot of plays downfield that year, though, when Patricia was calling the plays. Like, they hang their hat on that, as bad as it was. Like, we were still a prolific offense. Yeah.
Question number 4. What are you and Jordan talking about?
No, that's 4. We're on to 5 now. Question 5.
Question 5.
Yeah. Question 5. Bill, what is your biggest beef with Robert Kraft? Because it's clear there is one, and your girlfriend wore an Orchids of Asia t-shirt to a basketball game this winter. Your thoughts? There's 5. Can we ask any of these interesting questions?
Discuss.
Or are we just going to say, remember when the Pats were awesome? Like Chris Farley doing the interviews here.
Cheryl Johnson.
You know, the Pats are awesome. Yeah. That's
Fair to
fine.
say.
That's fine.
Cheryl Johnson.
Listen, that's fine. There's an audience for that, and good for you for getting the interviews and for serving up that softball interview to the people that will like it. I'm not that guy. I'm the critical, cynical talk show host in Boston that wants real questions in there and cares about like the actual real answers that we'll never get from this guy, and I know we'll never get it. Never. He's never going to give it up. So forgive me for not giving a damn.
Malcolm Butler. That's the one.
Number one question. Let me know when he's ready to talk about that. He did throw some interesting shade at some people in these interviews, though. I'll get on board for that. I'll get on board for that a little bit. I mean, it's not earth-shattering stuff, but I think there's one clip about the Jets that people think is a backhanded compliment to Robert Kraft in the interview, and maybe another comment that is a backhanded
criticism.
Yeah. Backhanded comment, not even backhanded, just a sort of a shot at the Pats. Yeah. We can get into these after headlines. Stay tuned.